Injured in an accident, and a handful of days later, the insurance company is trying to offer you money. Should you take it? Should you tell them to kick rocks? We're going to talk about it today on Monday Morning Lawyer. Hey, happy Monday, everybody. It's your accident and injury guy, Jobeth Bowers, coming at you from my temporary Elkton office here. We had a little water situation, and I'm now in a different room, and whatever. We'll be back to normal soon. Everything here at Bowers Law is still running full steam ahead. So if you are injured in an accident, you need our help, we are here for you. Boom. Oh, almost lined it up. 885-6200. Right there's the number. That's getting weird. Today we're going to talk about the insurance company coming at you a few days, maybe a few weeks after an accident, trying to stroke a check there for a couple $100, sometimes even a couple $1,000. We often have clients approach us. In fact, in my other office, the one that's dealing with the situation, I actually collect these checks. There are a handful of companies that will literally just mail a check out without you even having an agreement to settle the case. Why? Because the cases are almost always worth substantially more than what the insurance company is offering. And what they don't tell you is that when you settle that case for whatever money they're giving you, it's absolutely over. I have had clients tell me, but the insurance company said they're going to keep the medical open for 2 years. It's a lie. It's a lie. When you sign a release of claims, the case is over. Now, there's a slight exception to this because over time, the state of Maryland caught wind of how bad this was, how much people are being taken advantage of, and there is a very, very limited carve out in the law that if you are in an accident and within a very short period of time, 30 days or so, you settle a case without an attorney directly with the insurance company, you can actually engage the services of an attorney, send that money back, and start all over. That law only exists because of how predatory some insurance companies, and not all of them, but some insurance companies can be when it comes to trying to quickly settle these cases. You've probably heard the term ambulance chaser. Well, that term really no longer applies to injury attorneys. It applies to this practice, and that is settling somebody's case very, very quickly. I have helped clients return checks for less than $1,000 on cases that we have ultimately resolved for close to $100,000. We have one right now that we're expecting to settle for $250,000, and the client had originally accepted like $2,000, and they were in that tight little window, and we were able to undo and fix that. I am not saying this to tell you to come to me to fix that problem, because it's like threading a needle. I'm telling you this so that hopefully you were finding this on a search for the insurance companies offering me a settlement. Should I take it? The answer to that question almost always is no. Now, have I told clients, hey, that's a pretty good offer, you should take it? Yes, but that's only in a situation where there weren't really any injuries or any significant injuries. Somebody comes to me 2 weeks after an accident. They've gotten no medical care. Maybe they went to their primary care doctor. They feel absolutely great, and the insurance company's offering them $3,000. Okay, cool. That might be worth looking at. If that situation comes up, I don't sign that client. I don't take a fee. I might even suggest to them, hey, go back and ask them for this number, depending on the situation. And that's it. It's very rare that I do that, not out of greed, not out of wanting to sign a client, but in the rare instance that what the insurance company is offering prior to everything coming full cycle is actually a reasonable number. Again, very, very rare. I want to say I've done it less than 10 times in my entire career. So what do? Well, number one, you call me because you need to make sure, and one of the things that you get when you hire Bowers Law is a degree of peace of mind at the end that when I'm handing you a check, everything else related to medical bills and otherwise for that accident case has been handled, or there's a check on my desk waiting to go out in the mail after you sign off on it. It's going to zero everything out. Everything gets handled before I hand you a check. And you're going to see where all that money goes. So there's no mysteries. There's no, oh, did they catch everything? My office, when you are finished with your medical care, will send you out an itemization of all of your medical care to make sure that we have it all before we send it to the insurance company. Because it's super important to me and to my office that you have that peace of mind, that when you resolve that case, that you know, hey, not only do I have this check that I'm happy with, but everything else is handled. All of my bills are paid. Anything anybody is owed, like your health insurance company who might be entitled to some reimbursement or some money back, depending on if they paid and depending on the type of plan, all of it gets handled. And most importantly, you are resolving this case for a reasonable and fair amount of money for what you've gone through, assuming, of course, you and the other driver have the proper insurance limits to make that happen, which is a great segue into this month's contest. Now, even though this month we're doing a contest, which I'm going to drop some information on here real soon, this service is available year-round. It's just the month of April that there's a prize attached to it. So everybody who enters the insurance policy review is entered in if you do this and submit in April, you are entered to win a great and growing prize pack. In fact, it's Monday. We're going to add one more item to the prize pack. So if you've been tuning in, and some of you have already submitted, some of you I've already even done the reviews for, they take like 2-3 days, and we're also able to schedule a one-on-one via Zoom or Google Meet or whatever, so I can talk to you, tell you what it means, answer any questions that you have. All of this absolutely free of charge and with no sales pitch at the end. On the first Monday of May, which I think is the 4th, on this podcast, all of those names who have entered, all of those names who have submitted to have their insurance policy reviewed, we'll put them up on that wheel. That wheel will spin, and somebody's going to win this prize package. It includes a pair of tickets to the Ravens home opener, lower level tickets. I can't tell you what the opponent is. I can't tell you what day the game is because the schedule's announced in mid-May, but it'll be the home opener. And if that doesn't work for you, we can work on that. Also, this autographed Zay Flowers jersey, which is fantastic. I don't think it's game worn, but it's an authentic jersey signed by Zay Flowers with the little NFL seal of authenticity. So you can go and probably even find out where he was when he signed the thing. Added today is a $50 gift card or gift certificate for Greek Girls Ice Cream in Perryville. If you haven't been there, it's the old boxcar. New owners took over last year. They've totally redone the place. Amazing food, amazing ice cream and shakes and things like that. And if you don't know where it is, but you do know where Fifth Company Brewing is, it's like right around the corner from there as you're driving in. You can't get, I don't think, to Fifth Company Brewing without going past Greek Girls. Cool little spot. They're doing some expansion and renovation this summer, which is going to be great. But $50 for you, whoever wins this, plus the jersey, plus the tickets. And for the next 2 Mondays, we're going to add other things to the prize pool. We already know what they are, but we're just going to reveal them week by week. So go to marylandinsuраncebook.com. Give me your declarations page. There is zero sales pitch because I'm not an insurance agent. I can't sell you a policy. I can only advise you, hey, this is what all this stuff means because your insurance agent may not have explained this to you. And if you bought your policy online or through some 800 number, Nobody explained anything to you. And over the past like 20 years in this business, far too many times, I have been the bearer of bad news to one of my clients saying, hey, we have these limitations because of your insurance coverage and because of the other driver's insurance coverage. So I do these policy reviews to eliminate at least half of that. You will at least have the information. What you do with that information is certainly up to you, but I deliver it in the form of a report card. It's a one-page PDF document that's going to come back in your email. We can certainly have a chat about it, but the simplest way is take that report card, zip it over via email to your insurance agent and say, hey, give me prices to fix these things. They will give you prices and you will determine, hey, I can afford that, do it, or that's a little much, maybe next time. What you do with that information, like I said, is up to you, but no sales pitch here because I am not a licensed insurance agent. I will not sell you that policy. So don't accept that insurance company's early offer without talking to me. 885-6200. Also, you've got a topic that you want discussed on the podcast right there. info@bowerslawmd.com. Make sure you mention that you want it on the podcast. We are in the process of starting and launching a website that is devoted to the podcast exclusively. The insurance contest, the submission, marylandinsuраncebook.com is the priority right now. So we've launched this first. Another thing that you're going to get, which is not the most exciting thing, is that in 2014, I wrote a book about buying insurance in Maryland. I am updating that book, which should be published in June. You're going to get a free copy of that. I know that's the least exciting part about this, but you're going to get that. And then also, for every submission, we are contributing $5 to the Ben Hines Memorial Foundation Scholarship. Ben was the son of the owner of the grocery outlet here in Elkton. He died in combat, and there is a foundation set up in his honor. They give a scholarship, I think maybe 2 scholarships every single year. We're going to use this contest as a way to give back and give money to that. So your submission costs you nothing and me at least $5 to the foundation. So if for no other reason, get the insurance review so that you know what you have and maybe some things that are deficient, and make me give more money to that cause. That's all I have for this week, everybody. Again, marylandinsuраncebook.com. Tell a friend, tell a family member, tell a neighbor, because this is information that a lot of people don't have until it's too late. Think about this process like hopping into a time machine, okay? An accident might happen in the future. You don't want to be in my office finding out that there are some deficiencies. So it's like hopping in the time machine when you get the bad news, coming back to now and fixing it before the accident happens, because your insurance policy, the other driver's insurance policy that's in effect at the moment that that accident happens, is the one that comes into play. You cannot fix it after the accident happens. I mean, you can. It just won't give you the coverage for the accident. So fix it now. Thank me later. That's all I have for this week. Be safe. Be well. We'll see you next week right here, 11 a.m. Monday morning. We'll be adding to that prize. So marylandinsuраncebook.com. Get that information. Have me take a look at your policy. No sales pitch. Just a breakdown of, hey, this is what you might want to look at in your policy. Go take it to your agent. All right. We'll see you next week. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great